Hey guys, how are we? Now, this one, I know most of you are jungle mains. This one is actually just mid lane, but it's gonna help you understand, like, just how to macro mid. I'm not amazing mechanically at Viktor, but I understand how to move in mid lane, where to stand, when to place vision and stuff, and basically just, like, not die. And if you can CS well like I do in this game, it's pretty much 10 CS per minute in the first 14, 15 minutes, so the early laning phase, you can climb so easily. So, we're going to get into this. So, early on in this game, we get a ward on J4's red. I know you can't really see the mini-map. You kind of can. I've got, like, some weird map cover over the top of it, but you can see we have a red buff ward for the J4. In this early game as well, one of the key ideas, right, that lots of people just don't do, but I do in this game, is get priority. How do you get priority in a range matchup? So I'm against a Vex in this game. I'm not versing a Yasuo or a Yone or a Zed where I'd play it differently. I'm against a ranged champion. So what is key in a range matchup? Getting priority. In other words, hitting the first melee minion before the enemy champion. That's the first, like, actual fight. If you win that fight, you've got a great chance of just playing the lane easily. Now, you might think, but if you get priority and you get the push, you're going to be more susceptible to getting ganked. Yeah, you are, but does that mean you have to fucking die to a gank? No, you just have to understand what the jungler is doing, right? And you have to know where to stand in mid and where to ward as well to protect yourself. That's it. You just want to be playing a 1v1. Like this. See this Vex as well? This is a Diamond 1 player, by the way. Now, I don't know if she's a mid lane main or whatever, but that's what it said. She's Diamond 1, and she's letting me hit this minion like this. I know straight away that I just win this lane, because she let me do this. Now, in this early game, Vex's E definitely outranges me, so I'm just going to chill behind kind of like my minions or inside the wave. Still trying to play like close to her as I can if she does like, actually troll. But yeah, I'm just hitting minions. If she auto-attacks, I try to auto-attack as well. Because I got like maybe even like 3 auto attacks in before her, I'm going to get the push, right? And I'm going to win. You can see me here as well checking J4's red buff in case like he randomly fucking started there. I didn't actually need to do that because I would see his character model on the minimap. But now I know J4 is not starting at red, he's starting at blue. Now what about in another game, right? Let's just say we didn't have this ward. Let me get my pen out. Let's just say we didn't have this ward on this buff. How would you actually like ward for mid? Well, you pretty much ask yourself, can you get level 2 ganked? So level 2 red buff gank. Can it happen? Yes, of course it can happen. It's a J4 in this game. So early on, maybe around like 120, I would try to walk, right, through the mid lane. So just imagine the mid lane here for me. Like this to the red raptors and put a ward down anywhere around here in that vicinity. That is going to protect myself from that level 2 gank. If J4 doesn't start at red buff, right, if he starts at top, the blue buff, wherever he starts here, the point is that I have a ward here. Because I have a ward there, my positioning in mid just has to be towards that vision. I'm going to trust my vision here. Because I can't see J4, and it's very unlikely he's going to do something like red buff, EQ, and then run all the way around, right? Very unlikely. It's probably just a big waste of time. Okay? So that's what you would do if you didn't actually know where he started. But again, you can tell just by looking at the top and bot lanes. Whichever lane kind of like shows first, they've probably leashed. You can also check mana if you have the time to do so by using your F keys. Once again here, I'm not auto-attacking the minions unless I kind of have to. This was actually a mistake. I did not need to auto-attack that range minion. That's why I have to use my Q here. You can notice as well, like, why do you think I move up here like this? Because I just used my Q. Yes, I have the auto-attack, but I'm kind of like half a cooldown down. The Vex has her E, right? So why am I moving up here? It's because the Vex obviously wants this melee minion. The best mid laners, I'm not saying I'm the best, far from it, but good mid laners will always do this. When the Vex wants a minion, I'm saying, well, you want that. You're obviously going to auto-attack it. I want to try to pressure you for it. I'm trying to, like, bait her to use a cooldown or something like this. Maybe even if she hits me, she misses 21 gold. It's really not that bad for me. Once again here, I'm just waiting for the minions to get low. Again, I'm a little scared of pressuring because I don't have my Q, right? But this Vex hasn't done anything. She should really be pressuring me here because I don't have Q. She has her passive. So for the first 30 seconds, she has not used anything on me. And because of those early auto attacks, how crucial was it? Can you see this now? How crucial was it for me to auto attack? Because I'm going to hit level 2 first here. And the game is like, the lane just becomes so free here. Early game, this isn't like an amazing matchup. But yes. that positioning, again, is fine, because Vex actually, like, hits some of the minions as well as me, and it's not like I'm going to lose that much HP. Vex's auto-attack here, if you are playing this matchup, like, kind of specifically, I guess, it will go through before you Q, so make sure, guys, try to Q. See how I just timed it a little bit late there. You can Q a close minion to get the shield quickly, right? If you Q the Vex, your Q travels further, so you're not going to shield yourself. Try to Q something near you, like a quick minion, then you get the movement speed, and then you can actually combo her. So if I did that quickly, again, my mechanics are not fucking good. If I did that quicker, I could actually get in maybe like a Q auto attack there. I still do, though, because Vex moves up, and I hit her like this. Good trade for me. Now, as this lane continues, pretty much just last hitting, right? And Vex, I mean, I could definitely think about moving up here, but she's going to hit 2 off that minion. So the first melee minion of the second wave here, she'll hit level 2. Yes, I could move up, but I'm more than happy just like kind of chilling here. And yeah, maybe I should actually just pressure these minions a little bit more. So maybe a little micro mistake. I could move up a bit, but I might even be a little bit scared of J4 hitting me topside. That E was not good. Why was that E not good? Because Vex is not going for a last hit. Now I E. That's when I should E. Also, like a point here, maybe like a little tip, is paying attention to your mana flow. So if I was to E there when she goes for this last hit, I don't actually use my mana flow, but I still think it's well worth. Like, just getting in more chip damage is always worth. Don't really worry about your mana flow too much until you're actually, like, yeah, running a little bit. This next wave, I can't hard push it, right? There's no way. Look at my minion wave. I have 3 extra minions. No way I can hard shove this. So my best bet is just to kind of just, like, not die. That's pretty much it, guys. That's a big theme in this lane. It's a big theme in any lane. Just not dying. So I ward over the wall, because I know J4 started topside. If he's going to gank mid, again, he's probably going to go through that choke point. So I go down, place a ward. Also, the J4 will know that I've just warded that area. It's very difficult for him to then kind of like calibrate, I guess is the right word, a gank in the mid lane, because I'm obviously just going to see him. Here, I don't really want to do too much to the minions. I will auto-attack if Vex is. Okay, so when she auto-attacks there, that E is fine. I push the wave a little bit too much, though. So this wave, it might not, like, crash into a tower, but don't really worry too much about that. Don't really worry too much about that. The only issue, again, is that if the wave is pushing, you getting ganked. In a 1v1, if you have priority like I have, you can pressure the enemy champion more. So I hit Vex with a couple of E's. That's why her HP is lower. She has to use a lot of, like, kind of time and auto attacks and abilities, maybe, on actually, like, trimming the minion wave, rather than on me. So it just buys you so much time. It's so much easier to play when you do get that early priority and you win that first battle. After this, quite simply just last hitting. I'm being a little bit careful. Like, if the Vex moves up randomly, I'm going to be very careful of, like, J4 coming mid. So again, I'm just, like, kind of chilling. Use my Q there to hit the 2 minions. Remember, your Q will reset your auto attack. And see how Vex now has to use, like, her cooldowns to trim the wave. And because she's tanking the wave as well, there goes one of her health pots. I still have both, and this lane is just very easy. This E was bad. I should have just E'd straight away. This trade is absolutely fine, because I know she already used a health pot, right? And that kind of trade was even for me. So if I'm already ahead in terms of HP, that's just a winning trade for me. Auto-attacking here is kind of fine. Everything is fine here, guys, because I'm not fucking dying. The Vex is in a much worse position than me. There's her Q, so I could definitely think about moving up here. Again, I don't know if I've seen J4 in the minimap. Maybe he did actually just get a fucking kill, I'm not sure. But yeah, also there I should probably just save my E, right? And just wait until she goes for maybe like a bigger minion. Don't really have to use my E, but I'm pretty sure I have my mana flow. So again, nothing is really wrong here. Now, this is where mechanically I kind of fuck up a little bit. Again, I said my mechanics weren't great. So Olaf here is pressuring the J4. I know that in a 2v2, because Vex isn't doing that great, she does have Ignite, I'm pretty sure, so it might be a little scary. But it's an Olaf like early game with lethal tempo, so we can definitely like do something. Unfortunately, though, so Vex is here. I use my E. We actually hit her with the E, I'm pretty sure. Maybe? No, we don't, because we don't get the area off. But I should just flash Q here and obviously auto attack. And I say my bad to Olaf. Also important, guys, like just mentally, if you do fuck up like that, just say my bad. Just own up to it. It will de-tilt your kind of like jungler or your teammate, yeah, by doing it. And thankfully Olaf here doesn't take any minions. He kind of like helps me shove the minion wave. Here, obviously I'm going to shove the minion wave because Vex is going to base. I don't even need to scout for her. So let's just say Vex was on like maybe a quarter HP after this. Yeah, like that fight down here. If she's on like a quarter HP, close to half HP, she might consider staying. If that's the case, I'm going to move forward and scout and try to see what she's doing. If she does recall and legit recalls, she's back here. What do? I shove. If she stays in lane, what do? I slow push, right? Make it as difficult as possible for her. Here, because she's not in lane, she was so fucking low. I'm just going to shove, get these minions. And I've got 31, which isn't too bad. And that's kind of the early lane. Now, very, very important when you're playing control mages, I believe, try to get your mythic as soon as possible. If you don't want to get your mythic as soon as possible, you might think about like getting sorcerer shoes in some matchups. In this matchup, it wouldn't even be bad to rush them, but I would much prefer you guys to get them in one go. So if you have 1100, get sorc shoes, no fucking worries, it's nice. But if you don't, just try to get towards Lost Chapter. That's the first kind of like checkpoint. So even if you have a sapphire crystal, you have more mana, you can use spells, all of this is nice. Now, why do I not TP mid here? Let's have a look. We have to understand this as well. The reason I don't TP mid is quite simply because I don't need to. It's not a cannon wave. Like, me TPing here, yes, I might miss, like, a minion or two, but it's not going to be too bad, and I'm still going to collect most of this minion wave. So when I come back mid, okay, I miss a couple of melee minions. But I can still hold this up as well, right? So Vex here, when she moves, is kind of fucked because I can freeze it. Now, I actually kind of stuff up here a little bit because J4 comes mid. So all I did there, guys, was just collect the minions like this. And I kind of stuff up here because J4 comes mid here to shove this wave out. And I should do a lot better job in actually avoiding damaging the minions here. So the wave will stay here as long as I don't hit the minions too much. So sometimes I might auto-attack to try to thin the wave out, okay? Because the wave might still crash here. I do have to keep it here. I might even like have to tank the wave. So when J4 arrives, I'm like, fuck, this guy's just randomly mid. And I kind of like misjudged this. I thought I can use an E here and the wave will still be here. This is actually just bad. I should be looking for E's like this behind the wave. Yeah, not through the wave. This is something you should always think about. If you've got a freeze going, if you want to, like, you know, keep the minion wave where it is, don't damage it, of course, with your abilities. Try to go around the wave, okay? So here, I don't need to, like, hard push or anything. I'm just going to last hit, right? Vex comes back mid. I land a nice E onto her because she's not really, like, I don't know if she wasn't, like, paying attention, but it just looked like a nice angle, and so, you know, sometimes you hit them. Here again, I'm just chilling. I don't know where J4 is. I'm pretty sure he's bot side, though. Can you see how my positioning is deliberate? Most of the time, guys, like, if I draw lines through the middle like this, you should always pick a deliberate position, yeah? In terms of where you're, like, positioning your character. If I'm standing in the middle, it's probably because I don't know where J4 is, right? But if I'm standing in the middle, generally it's quite bad, too. Because it tells me, like, you're just not thinking. Most of the time, you want to be positioned towards one side. Now, if you don't know where J4 is, you don't have to stand in the middle. You can use something, right, to help you out. Put a ward down here. Put a ward down on the edge of that wall there, because it will see your jungle, so behind your raptor camp, if he comes like this, and it will see him if he just goes into this brush. And what you can do is you just play towards that ward you put down. You just stand here on the top side. If you did the same thing bot side, you ward maybe in this brush, right? Or maybe you ward the same thing near his red raptors. You just hold like this line. Makes it a lot harder for him to actually kill me. And because I'm pretty sure I saw him run bot side here, I just hold top. Same thing though, right? I'm just making sure that I don't get fucked by this side. Just making sure. Just making sure. Now here I go for like some random E. This was really bad. I should probably just wait again until Vex goes for a last hit. And yeah, here I'm just going to like hard push the next wave. So before we looked at a wave, right, where, see how I ward as well? So notice, guys, like, when I ward, I don't miss anything. Lots of people, when they shove, they'll shove and they'll be like, oh shit, I might get ganked. Then they come and ward, and they've missed a melee minion. Never do that. Ward as soon as the wave is dead, yeah? Then you go to ward. Also, good tip, by the way, if you want to, like, ward like this, hit that last minion where you're going. It saves a couple of seconds. Very important. So now I've got this side covered. I've also got this covered, and I see J4 bot. Thresh is probably bot as well, maybe, though, because he wasn't in this kill. So maybe I have to think about Thresh. You should always think, guys, as the if the enemy support is like a second jungler. They can easily use a bit of time to kind of invest in the mid lane, especially when I'm pushing like this. Vex is probably also asking for assistance. Like, think about their screen. The Vex is probably going fucking nuts. Like, help me out. This guy's such a free kill. So you have to make it not a free kill by using your wards, by thinking about the map and where the enemy champions are going to be, what they're going to be thinking about. Now, before, yes, we looked at a wave where there was no cannon minion, right? And it was like level 2. Second wave, right? Third wave comes in, the cannon minion wave. I could not shove this because I didn't have a cannon. And I had like 3 ranged minions. I can't shove it as Viktor. This situation, I can easily shove it. Why? Because there's a big fat cannon here. This is a standard minion wave. I will just shred these minions, you know, way too quickly. So I just have to shove it. And shove this wave in. Here I shouldn't really miss any minions. Like, the damage to Vex is actually kind of nice. But yeah, just shove these waves, guys. When you've got a big excess of minions from the previous wave, just shove them. This E is actually really good because I got the melee, hit Vex as well. So whenever you can actually last hit minions, guys, and hit the enemy champion, that's obviously a bonus. And here, just quite simply last hit. Most people would recall here because you have Lost Chapter, which I think is 515 maybe with Sapphire and Amp Tone. Let me think about it. No, it would be 550, I think. Maybe more. Can't remember. 555, 585, something. Anyway, the point is I easily have enough for Lost Chapter. Lots of people would base here. But the key, right? Lots of people would. I'm even talking like Masters, maybe GM mids. Some of them as well, like who I coach. They just recall and they just forget about what the focus is. The focus in the mid lane, or any lane, is the enemy champion you're against, right? The Vex here is half HP. She's kind of going a little bit. I'm level 6, so she will be 6 soon. But I'm in just a better position. Also in terms of like sustain, right? I have a health pot, three biscuits. I don't think she has anything, by the way. So in this game, I do not want to let her just off the hook. I'm going to protect my minions here. Yes, I have shoved this. Yes, I'm in a risky position if I get ganked. But look again how I've positioned myself top here. It's not here. It's not here. I also just saw Thresh down here, by the way. But even if I don't see Thresh, I've got to be scared of this. He is a support. He's probably going to be bot side of the map if he looks to gank me. So Hex flashing over this wall, coming around like this through this kind of choke point here, through the river, right? This allows me to run off like this. Lots of mid laners again here, stand in the middle, the Thresh comes and they just run straight back. By standing here, I can just run off. And if Thresh keeps chasing me, he wastes so much fucking time. My bot lane chills for a little bit longer. Hopefully they get back in the game or something. So this pressure and deliberate positioning will win you games because you indirectly win other lanes. And even jungle, right? Like if the J4 ganks me here, he can never kill me. What the fuck is he gonna do? And if Vex like hits level 6 and lands her ultimate and I see J4, I might have to think about flashing. Even in that situation, I don't even think I have to flash because I can damage Vex here to the point where she can't actually do that. If she lands her ultimate and I see her actually press R again, I just press W at my feet. And what you're going to see here, guys, is the Thresh come in to gank me. And that's pretty much like how to fucking mid lane in a nutshell. Like if I was just to forward this, I'm pretty sure J4 comes mid and you can see like how now they're all... So I've got jungle mid, support mid. I am winning the game just through like the amount of pressure I have. Kind of bait J4 there as well. Olaf then takes a massive minion wave. You can see him killing the next wave. But in this game, I would have had CS per minute. So I'm pretty sure that was a cannon wave. Can't remember. So 70 at 745, whatever. Missed a couple of minions. But that's just like how to play mid lane in a range matchup. Hopefully this was useful. Sorry about the minimap. Any questions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, don't be shit. Bye.